time it's happened on this
You're
one.
making the people that are in here, because it's a financial institute, okay, you're making them a little nervous. So they're trying to figure out why is a guy standing here with an umbrella filming the building.
Oh, yeah, I'm just...
So that's why I'm trying to figure out who you are, and then I'll be out of it.
Oh, Becky.
You know, it is a pretty building, it's nice, it's stone, etc.
Becky.
But what's the reason that you're taking it? I'm kind of worried about why you're looking at it.
Yeah, Becky.
That's a funny
Becky, don't you love it? Are you going to be spreading it to the other ossifers? I'm just going to be making my way down a little
There he
bit.
is. He's walking away. He's like, yeah, Melody. Some of them, he's been arrested because he didn't tell him what he's doing. He's like, I don't have to
What's
tell
your
you what
favorite
I'm
part
doing.
about Florida or
Sitting on
whatever?
the sidewalk recording.
People are decent.
Becky.
He's
Yeah,
kind of
people
following
here
the cat
feel
down the
pretty chill.
sidewalk.
Yeah, very nice.
That's why I'm a proud Floridian.
Florida is so chill.
Alright, that's what you do. I was just showing Jeff that I carry a piece of soap in my pocket or whatever.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
tell people to carry a tin and put soap shreds in it, and that makes it even easier.
Let's go to Florida Village Hall. Did I mention that I love Florida? I'm so glad I grew up in Florida.
Oh,
This is Florida Village Hall and everyone's
city
really
of
chill.
Florida.
Wait a minute. Becky. Yeah, people are usually pretty chill in Florida. Because I grew up in Florida. Becky. Yeah,
it's like Florida.
On the
New
west
Jersey or
side.
something.
Florida. Oh,
New York.
Florida. Oh, Florida, Florida.
Taking pictures of our building.
Oh, fudge, because I grew up in Florida, so they know how they would react, whatever. Oh, fudge. Yeah, because I'm from Florida, so I didn't know. Oh, I see. You seem chill. So with that,
Is Rumble still working? Try to restart it.
good, how are you? Okay. Oh, not much. I came from Florida, you know.
You came from Florida?
Becca.
Alright, what are you doing here?
I was originally filming Florida or whatever, and then I was showing people how awesome Florida is or whatever.
Okay.
Becca, so now I just wanted to branch out.
So you wanted to branch out to tell people about the state of Florida?
No, not because you know what, Florida.
Like Pine Island, Florida?
By the way, did I mention this is a completely different Florida than what you're thinking? Plot twist! There are two Floridas. 1 miles away from actual Florida. Now this ossifer is asking if we mean Pine Island, Florida, which is a city in actual Florida. But wait, it's also in Zoo York's Florida. This is like some trippy alternate dimension kind of thing.
You're not talking about the state of Florida, right?
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
Becca.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
What about it, though?
I guess it's like pretty chill. Like people there are usually pretty chill, and like, yeah, Becca.
No.
So what are you doing here now?
You're behind.
Oh, just checking it out. It's pretty chill. It's like the National Bank of Orange County or whatever, founded in 1812 or whatever.
Alright, you got your ID on you by chance?
Oh, plus I know not on you or whatever.
No, what's your name?
Oh, Asif.
Sif?
Oh, Asif.
Asif?
Asif or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Becca. Oh, it's like as if or whatever.
A-S-I-F?
Yeah, like as if or whatever.
Oh, that's how you spell your name. Your first name.
Oh, Becca. Yeah, it's like as if. Becca. I was like,
So your name's Azif.
I kind of pronounce it like I sometimes say Asif, just so it's not like as
You
if.
got a middle initial?
Oh no.
No? What's your last name?
Oh, fudge. I have people in Florida or whatever, and they like kind of look out for me. They said not to give my last name or whatever.
You got a date of birth?
Oh, fudge. They told me not to give that either or whatever.
Alright, so I'm just still confused at exactly why you're here right now recording them. Like, and you're talking about Florida. I'm asking you about Pine Island, Florida. You're not giving me a direct answer if it's that or the state of Florida. So I'm just like a little confused as what you're doing here right now.
Oh yeah, I just didn't get the Pine Island part. I was just like, I didn't understand that part or whatever.
So what's going on with that?
Well, you said you were saying Pine Island is what again or whatever?
Like Pine Island, Florida, New York.
Hey, dude. Oh, I see. Yeah, pick yeah. Yeah, so I was just because I'm from Florida, so it's like yeah. But how are you guys doing? Like yeah, I'm just doing.
Where are you from?
Has he ever
You got
gotten
here?
flipped?
Oh no, true. Yeah, I'm from Florida or whatever, so it's just.
Well, it's
But he
not
got released from the emergency, and they're like, no,
Yeah.
You take medication?
we're not taking
Sometimes
this.
I midi, but
Yeah.
no. Thank you.
Says
A lot of the guys in New York, the cops use it all the time.
or?
If they just get mad at him, they'll just take him to the emergency room. The emergency room just lets him go.
Oh, fudge. I'm not too sure. Because
Actually, in
I have like
Florida,
people that look out for me in Florida or
Baker
whatever.
active.
And they say like,
Well, that's
Can I ask you a
California.
question? What is your purpose here today?
oh, just kind of
California,
doing a cool
pretty
little video or whatever. Some awesome content back outside of Florida.
Other places it's called
Thank you.
5150.
Are you from Florida?
Yeah, back here from Florida.
I think I saw you down that way earlier to record. I mean, listen, man.
Oh, back here.
You're okay to record. I don't care what you do with the camera. Okay?
All right.
As long as it's from public, you can record it. But
Hey,
you know,
Anna.
you didn't get a call about it. So that's why we're here. All right.
Hi, Anna.
As long as you're not obstructing any type of vehicular traffic here, or
We got lost
you
on
know,
that.
inside the bank recording, if they
Lost
don't watch
rumble.
it, that's fine. But from the sidewalk perspective here, I don't have a problem with it. Okay. Traffic with the cars here, anything like that, you're good to go.
Oh, back here.
Where
No,
are you going after this though?
oh, Florida. Back here.
Which Florida? There's a town here called Florida.
No, Florida.
Oh, the state of Florida.
Oh, so I was just gonna head back to Florida or whatever. I was
Okay.
just back here.
All right, man. Well, you're good to go in my book. All right.
Oh, back here. You guys were chill.
You have a good day.
You too.
So, are you okay?
And the notorious umbrella. Since I am a social scientist, I find human psychology fascinating. Like this ice cream shop owner who, instead of being a stan, recommends his competition so he doesn't have to be on camera. Wow. Is it pretty good ice cream here?
We have soft ice cream over there, and it's not nice by the restaurant.
Over. Okay. But isn't yours better though?
Yes, they look cute.
Now he can't Terry stop.
Thank you.
Alright, who's got cuffs?
For them, in a few
Oh,
instances,
fuck.
they bite
Chili
off more than they
Castro,
can chew.
delete laws.
And they get absolutely destroyed when they come across lawyers who are vastly more knowledgeable about the law than they are. When facing corrupt cops, what should be your best line of defense? What do you do when you are stuck in a tense situation with corrupt law enforcement? Well, luckily for you, these lawyers show you how to tackle corrupt cops and come out on top. In this incident that happened in 2017 in Orlando, Florida, Aramis Ayala was pulled over by a cop at a traffic stop. Further footage from the officer's body cam revealed that the officer had run a tag on her car and explained it by saying that they all do that all the time at a traffic stop.
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's at traffic lights and...
They had actually pulled over a state attorney.
What agency you with?
I'm the same time.
Same thing. Alright.
When State Attorney Ayala asked the officers the reason for a tag run, the officer suddenly became very cordial. Her over because her windows were too dark and that the license numbers didn't return anything. If they were any wiser or even experienced, they would already know that state-run vehicles were meant to be discreet and confidential.
What was the tag run
I'm sorry?
for? What was the tag run for?
The windows were really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
At the time of the release of the video, some people on social media implied that the stop was racially motivated. But the Orlando police were quick to deny the allegation, saying that the procedure was lawful. Later, State Attorney Ayala requested to see the officers' badges and IDs, but the officers told her they didn't have them on them at the time. Pretty convenient, one would say. They promptly allowed the attorney to go and wished her well as well, probably hoping that the attorney would let the matter slide and not take slighted actions. Well, luckily for them, Attorney Ayala did not press any charges against the officers, but hopefully the officers learned a valuable lesson for the future. Lawyers have the power to shape laws, defend the innocent, and ensure the fair resolution of disputes. And as in these instances, hand a deserved put-down to some corrupt police officials. In the next case, the situation becomes much more complicated as Kenneth Grant, a district attorney, is pulled up by a petty cop. But he's not going to let the corrupt cop have his way.
Shut up. Somebody has called in.
District Attorney Grant was calmly sitting alone in his car on the side of the road, waiting to inspect someone's roof, when an officer pulled up to him. The officer immediately started to assert his authority and tried to trick the attorney into identifying himself.
You got a driver's license on you just so I can identify you? Well, I like to identify you, just know who I'm dealing with. Make sure. Well, if I'm making contact with you,
his rights and knew that he had to show his ID only if he was stopped on valid grounds of suspicion of a crime or traffic violation. He had done neither of those, so he shrewdly chose to not submit to the overbearing cop. This riled the cop further, and he began to argue with the attorney.
Prism crashed on me. I had to restart
the DA would slip up along the way and give him the upper hand in the situation.
So if you're not from here, I'm not sure if you are or not, because I don't know who you are. Okay.
My plate's right back there. I'll give it right here. Yep.
Okay. So is that how you want me to identify you? Through your plate?
That's what you have.
Are you the owner of the vehicle?
You suspect that?
I have no reason to believe you.
At this point, the police officer has clearly decided that he would not let the DA go free, even if he hasn't done anything wrong. You can tell that he's taken it as a challenge to pressure the man into submitting to his authority.
Do you have a date of birth then? Because I have to run it with a name and date of birth. So you're telling me how I should do my job, and you're not allowing me to do stuff. And I understand that, like I said. But I'm doing my job, conducting an investigation.
The DA is perfectly within his reason to withhold his identity, and is staying calm and level-headed throughout. This was a shock to the police officer, as cops expect everyone to do what they say without any questions. He decides to give petty reasons like the car was not parked on the road entirely, or that the road was private property, and that the DA was trespassing. He gets even more desperate to somehow charge the man and is trying to find any excuse to do so.
Well, you're not completely on the roadway there, sir. Do they have to ask you to move? It's private property. Oh, it's a public, because this is the city of Blanchard Road, so it's a public easement? No, this side of the road.
A second officer now joins in, only to make matters worse. He tells the DA to shut up when he's reading them the law. The unprofessional behavior of these police officers is certainly not something that surprises the general public anymore. What's even more concerning is the lack of basic courtesy and any decency shown towards a civilian. These officers refuse to back down and are hell-bent on serving justice to satisfy their monumental egos. One of the cops even calls up another attorney to confer the situation.
Nothing. Sorry to bother you. I got a random question for you, though. I'm dealing with something right now. So I got called out to an address for a suspicious vehicle. A gentleman's parked in a black pickup. He's from Oklahoma City, but he won't give me his name and tells me he doesn't have to give me a driver's license because he's not done anything wrong. Well, he's parked right now. But
even the police officer's legal advisor tells him that without any suspicion or evidence, the civilian is free to go. But the cop refuses to heed it. He mumbles in frustration that he'll follow the DA's vehicle out of town until the DA commits a traffic violation.
Well, I'll follow him out of town until I get him.
This had now gone beyond petty behavior and was clearly becoming a case of harassment of an innocent civilian by the police officer. But no one is there to stop him. What's more bizarre is even the chief of police arrives at the scene, and it is interesting to note that it seems that even the chief's mind is already made up on what he was there to do.
Are you investigating a crime? Possible crime.
Possibly.
Okay, he's instructing an officer for the city, right? Okay. The officer has the legal right to make contact with any reasonable call. If you're instructing that, I'm not here to listen to you. I'm here to tell you what's going on. Okay? I don't care if you're recording me.
We've all got cameras on. This is the problem.
Okay, you're instructing an officer to do this thing. Now you're not going to listen unless you want to. Okay? That's legal.
The police officers surround the gentleman in question and continue to grill him. It certainly seems that the entire police department had nothing better to do with their time than to harass a citizen. They then proceed to handcuff him for supposedly obstructing an investigation. The DA continues to plead that he was there for perfectly legal reasons.
Where's I gotta get my laptop?
That's all you had to say from the beginning, man. I don't have to tell you that. Don't you guys understand what my rights are?
Nobody said you have to tell us that. What we said is that you have to identify yourself. You do have to identify yourself.
Shortly after, that drama finally concluded and the DA was allowed to go without any charges. This incident once again gives a grim reminder of the need for police accountability. A United Nations certified handbook on police accountability and police integrity defines a system of internal and external checks and balances aimed at ensuring that police carry out their duties properly and are held responsible if they fail to do so. Such a system is meant to uphold police integrity, deter misconduct, and restore or enhance public confidence in policing. Police integrity refers to normative and other safeguards that keep police from misusing their powers and abusing their rights and privileges. In the next incident, DUI defense attorney Larry Foreman cross-examined Officer Shannon
DUI guy
from the Eddyville police who issued a DUI charge to his client without any video or blood alcohol level evidence.
So, and in this case, by the way, you did not have any type of body camera or in-car camera of any sort. And you did not complete any supplemental reports in this case. So all the evidence that you have completed and documented in this case rests in this uniform citation. Would that be fair to say?
Yes. Attorney Foreman immediately showcases his experience in handling these cases as he beautifully sets up Officer Oliver before the judge. He begins by asking Officer Oliver about the standard training procedures for law enforcement officers and makes him agree about the importance of citations.
No, I haven't.
He goes on to categorically list the comically low amount of evidence that Officer Oliver had before he made the judgment of handing a DUI charge to the attorney's client. It's immediately seen that Officer Oliver was completely out of his depth and had no idea of what was about to hit him.
You said, and you wrote it in the citation, his speech seemed slurred, right? Have you ever met Mr. Fernandez before the night of the encounter on August 21st, 2020? Are you familiar with his speaking patterns, the way
really?
he speaks? So you had
well,
no
that's good to
frame of
hear.
reference as to how he's speaking to you.
Officer Oliver had issued a DUI charge to the victim on grounds of slurred speech. However, upon questioning by Attorney Foreman in the court, Officer Oliver's claims were quickly dismantled one by one. He admitted that he had no prior knowledge of the victim's speech patterns. The suspect did not even have bloodshot eyes or a flushed face as reported in his citation. Ultimately, he had to admit that he had falsely accused the victim, Mr. Fernandez, of a DUI charge.
Throughout the night with the test and everything. So, and it's based on my judgment and my experience that I've had over the years that I believe that he was under the influence.
According to an article on the need for police reform, uniform standards are absent in law enforcement, where thousands of agencies at the federal, state, and local levels adhere to different standards, promulgated by a multitude of organizations. Thus, a national standard that sets a minimum bar and consistent expectations is essential to creating uniform professional policing in every jurisdiction and at every level. Things turn even weirder in this next case when local cops apprehend a black man for dumping trash on his own property. On July 10th, 2021, Emmanuel Olawale, a civil rights attorney in Westerville, was dumping trash into a bin that he owned, when two local police officers came up to him and demanded to see his ID.
Alright. If you don't mind, just so, yeah, if you don't mind, can we see your ID? Yeah. That is pretty cool.
The conversation was pretty civil and respectful until one of the officers decided to run Emmanuel's ID, to which Emmanuel objected immediately. Things immediately went downhill from there.
Please mark it down. We're going to take down your information.
I'm on my property.
Okay, but this is not just your property. It's several people's property.
I understand.
Okay.
But I'm not violating any law.
No one said that you were violating any law.
No.
There was absolutely no reason for the cops to come up and confront a person who was just putting out the trash. These are the instances when the general public is forced to question the law enforcement officer's intentions and motivations. Emmanuel told the officers that he was a lawyer and he knew his rights. He even went on to explain to the officers
they do it
that
all
he
the
was
time. It's that
perfectly within the
fucking
bounds of laws and his
superiority
actions.
complex.
And there was no need to turn this entire thing into a bigger issue. He even cooperated with them by giving them his ID and showing them his business card.
Untouchable, immune. Most of the time they are
officers seem
immune.
to revel in the task of unnecessarily troubling an innocent citizen.
You turn this into an issue.
Sir, you are turning this into an issue. We're just simply marking down who we're out with. Yeah, so he's just going to write it down on a piece of paper.
It's just your name.
Why?
Because, sir, we are out with you because we were concerned that you were illegally dumping.
But you already discovered. You know, I was just my office.
I understand that you're here, but I don't know if this dumpster belongs to you or somebody else in the
It belongs to me.
To you and you alone.
Yes.
Can you prove that that dumpster belongs to you and you alone?
The cops then begin to give out baseless arguments in an attempt to get Emmanuel to break. They tried to prove to him that his behavior is suspicious enough for them to run his ID. Since when did throwing trash in a dumpster become suspicious enough for the police to be involved? Emmanuel remains calm throughout and refuses to allow them to run his ID, citing his lawful rights to the officers. The police officers, who were now clearly racially profiling, were trying anything they could come up with to corner Emmanuel.
If it's also other units...
So what? It belongs to everybody. We're paying for it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the units. That's fine. Just give me back my ID. Thank you.
They eventually had to go back and leave Emmanuel alone when they couldn't succeed in breaking
No,
him.
they ran.
But
No,
even
see,
their actions and
this guy isn't even
intentions
looking
were
into
far
his
from
videos good enough.
admitting their
They did
mistakes,
run his
as
ID.
we heard
He
from
sued
one
him
of
and
the
won.
officers' body cams.
Turn around, get out of here.
Then we can look him up.
Unprofessional standards of policing and no accountability from law enforcement rear its ugly head once again. What's distressing is that even after these cases happen in the public eye, time and time again, we are still not any closer to a permanent solution. All talks of police reform seem to be like finding pots of gold at the end of a rainbow. A survey released in March of 2022 shows that at least 3/4 of Americans, both black and white, say more progress is needed on police reform, with 70% of black Americans saying a lot more needs to be done. In this next scenario, once again, we see a classic example of a police officer massively overstepping his boundaries and taking the law into his own hands. Officer Milano.
It's an old one.
Hello, since I got it, basically. Are they on now? I guess this isn't.
They're on now, so you didn't have the rear lights weren't on, so when you passed by me, I looked by and
Oh, I'm
you didn't have the lights to the rear.
sorry. I wonder if I turn it on auto. Oh,
There you go.
and it should. You know what? I thought it was on auto. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't.
So have you been drinking anything tonight?
No, I'm just like this naturally. Yeah.
Do me a favor and just step up for me.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you, so I'm what's called a DRE, drug recognition evaluator, okay?
Okay.
I'm detecting some signs of impairment.
Oh, okay.
Honesty goes a long way with me.
Yeah.
So when's the last, you take any prescription medication?
I do take Adderall extended release 10 milligrams, and I took one today. I'm prescribed it by my psychiatrist.
This is the sort of thing that can happen to any of us, to any of you, to your mother,
You don't
to
have
your
to answer
daughter,
that
to your
question.
grandmother, to your father, your
Don't answer
grandfather.
it.
This is the sort of BS that commonly touches regular law-abiding folks. And we can see just how it happened. This guy sat through some sort of class, and now he thinks he's like the smartest guy, the smartest like drug investigator there is. He knows stuff now. He learned things, and this is what it results in. Yes, this is another case of a police officer masquerading as a scientist. And this video was submitted by the woman that you see in this video, DUI, and she was completely sober. The cop thought he knew more than he did. The criminal charges were all dropped in the end, but look what they put her through. but you can see for yourself. Let's take a look at the footage.
Is this an okay spot here, or did you want me to pull over somewhere else?
No, you're okay right here.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Deputy Holtz, Morrison County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
You got license and proof of insurance?
Here's my license.
Where are we coming from?
Actually, I just got back from St. Paul going to Little Falls. I just got my nails done.
Just when you got your nails done?
Yeah, with my sister.
By the way, I want to tell you this so that you can look at this woman's eyes as you watch this footage. I have the police report, and here is what the officer said in regards to her eyes. I made a driver's side approach while speaking with the driver, later identified as Dawn Wilcox. I observed her eyes to be dilated, bloodshot, watery, and glossy. As I introduced lights to Wilcox's eyes, I observed there to be little to no reaction to light being dilated. Keep that in mind as you observe her eyes with your own eyes.
Where are we headed to?
Little Falls.
Not bloodshot, wide open.
A little bit. So, now back to Little Falls. Yeah.
Completely normal, and even more so than normal, do they look completely focused, just like my eyes are right.
You know, I thought they were low since I got it, basically. Are they on now? I guess this isn't.
They're on now, so you didn't have the rear lights weren't on, so when you pass by me, I looked by you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wonder if I turn it on auto.
Something really wonky.
You know what? I thought it was on auto. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't sure if I was like, maybe I'm going too fast. It's just like, you know where you have to slow down there a little bit? I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe I was going too fast a little bit.
Where there are allegations that somebody is driving while intoxicated, usually the reason the officer performed the stop is very important. Were they weaving, doing something indicative of being intoxicated, or was it something that could have a perfectly reasonable explanation? So here, the reason why Deputy Holtz stopped this lady is because he didn't see that her taillights were illuminated. This woman did not dispute that her taillights were off. However, she provided credible testimony that her newly acquired vehicle is equipped with automatic activated running lights, and that the illumination of those lights led her to believe that the taillights were indeed activated. So it was unintentional. You can see in the body cam footage that she is explaining this to the deputy. The judge ultimately found that this was a plausible explanation that she provided, that the failure to activate her taillights did not necessarily prove any impairment at all.
So have you been drinking anything tonight?
No, I'm just like this, naturally.
Naturally?
Yeah.
Do me a favor, just step off for me.
Okay.
What you're going to see now are field sobriety tests, which is the biggest scam in American law enforcement. And I say this as somebody who has tried over 30 DUI cases as a prosecutor. What did the police officer say in his report about her performance during the field sobriety tests? He said at one point he observed her to have eyelid tremors during this time. And during another test, he observed her eyes to be bloodshot, watery, and glossy, with her eyes also dilated. See, he's saying all the right lies, but the video shows what it shows, as you'll see. He said he inspected her mouth and observed heat bumps on the back of her tongue. She said during the walk and turn test, she made an improper turn and used the incorrect number of steps on the way back. And at that point, he explained to her that she was being placed under arrest for DWI. Now, let's go to what the judge said. When I say judge, I mean the criminal charges were dropped because she was completely 100% innocent. But as these tyrants do, the politicians have put in place in many states a process to where you can still lose your driver's license even though you're completely innocent. And that was the case here. She had to challenge this administratively to keep her driver's license. And so there was testimony that was taken. But the administrative law judge wrote this in his order, giving her her license back. The court's examination of the testimony and the deputy's body-worn camera shows that the petitioner, that's her, performed adequately on most of the field sobriety tests. Her elevated pulse, eyelid tremors, or her inability to maintain consistent focus on the deputy's finger do not prove impairment in her ability to drive. Although her performance on those tests were not ideal, it was not so egregious to enable this court to conclude that she was driving while impaired. The body-worn camera video shows the deputy telling the petitioner that her Adderall medication may be contributing to her eyes not converging. The video also shows petitioner passed a PBT with a .00 result. The court finds the testimony of the petitioner and her witness credible. While the court does not doubt the accuracy or sincerity of the deputy's testimony, that should have been in quotations. The court finds that under the circumstances present in this case, there is insufficient evidence to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that petitioner's use of Adderall impaired her ability to operate a motor vehicle on August 2nd, 2023. So not only could the state prove beyond any reasonable doubt that she committed a crime, they couldn't even prove by the civil standard or administrative standard of a preponderance of the evidence, which is just 50% plus .001.
Perfect. Actually, for this first one, I'm going to have you stand with your feet together. Okay. Hands at your side. Just remain in that position until I tell you to start, okay? So for this first test, it's called a modified Romberg test. It's just counting to 30 seconds. You think you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I tell you to begin, what I want you to do is I want you to tilt your head back. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to estimate the passage of 30 seconds. When you think 30 seconds has passed, I want you to tilt your head forward, look at me, and say stop. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can go ahead and tip your head back now. Close your eyes and begin. How long was that?
I'm not sure. I was trying to
I've never seen them take a pulse before.
So for this next test, what I want you to do is I want you to stand with your feet together, hands at your side.
Why?
Like the first test.
This is the first time I've ever had any issues.
Okay, with your eyes only, what I want you to do is I want you to follow the equipment. Don't move your head, just with your eyes only. Those instructions.
Yeah. There's like bugs flying at me.
the station.
You know, this just really pisses me off as somebody, again, who has tried over 30 DUI cases, DWI cases. What you look at when this test is being done is not only to see if the eyes follow, but also are they jumping? Because supposedly, and I mean, if you're blasted, if you're wasted, like, yeah, your eyes will be jittery like that. Here, her eyes are perfect. And it pisses me off because she is doing her best to do things like these stupid human tricks. And she seems like a really sweet woman. Like, she is nervous, understandably, but she's super polite and she's super sweet. And this guy is supposed to be out there protecting people like her. Instead, he's making her do these tricks and he's going to take her to jail.
She was sending it to her boyfriend or whatever.
And I want you to follow again with your eyes. Your eyes only follow the tip of my finger.
I would do this.
I'm gonna bring it closer to the bridge of your nose. I'm gonna try not to touch you.
Gonna show
but
Ryan
just
and Nick.
continue to focus on my finger, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
She's getting near Pittsburgh now.
Sorry, you're going through that. I'm not touching you thing. It's just over again.
You smoke marijuana at all?
No, I don't do any drugs at all. No.
Have you ever used cocaine or meth?
No.
She just said I don't do any drugs at all.
I'm seeing a little bit of lack of convergence that can be caused by
this is still the same girl.
Thing as,
oh my god.
The Adderall.
She should have refused. She should have answered. She didn't need to tell him if she's on any prescription drugs.
Right.
Just hang tight. Just stand. If you want to just stand right there for me.
Of course.
Do me a favor and just stick out your finger.
Sometimes they don't work as good when you have fake nails.
125, 126.
I'm like, I've never done this before. Like my whole life.
So to get your elevated, your pulse that high, is you have to do some pretty strenuous activity, like
or be stressed.
I'm sitting at like
anxious.
Roughly about a 90 resting heartbeat.
Oh, so well, for me, like if I do anything, it's like 110. But like this, I've never had this much excitement my whole life. Basically, right now.
Excitement.
Well, no, I mean I've never had a situation like this, so it's
$140,000
exciting. I mean, it's scary too because
brand new
it's
too
not
with
scary because I know I haven't done
paper
it.
plates.
So like I know I'll pass like any test.
It's a Tesla plaid.
Obviously, I'm not doing very good at it. So what you're having me do.
So the DRE average range, so the average person's resting heart rate is 60 to 90 beats per minute. You're at 125. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a pretty rock.
Yeah.
I'm
She's
not
fucking
surprised
nervous
by
as
that
fuck.
at all, based on like the scenario for me. Do those rates though consider when someone has an anxiety disorder like I do though, or not? Is that just?
Yeah, I guess it's not your anxiety shouldn't make your heart rate that high.
Okay.
Bullshit. These people's stuff is 200.
Okay.
Usually go up that high. Can you ever stick up your tongue? Open your mouth all the way.
He didn't even ask her about the PBT, just having her do it. Now, technically, you have to do that. So you don't have to do the dance.
I'm gonna have you do just one more quick test, okay? So, are you
okay to balance in them shoes?
Yeah, I'm okay.
So I want you to act as if there's an imaginary straight line in front of you. I want, with your foot on that imaginary straight line, I want you to place your right foot right in front of it.
Okay.
Heel to toe. You can do that now?
Yeah. Okay.
And then put your hands at your side. And just remain in that position until I tell you to start, okay?
Okay.
You understand those instructions?
Yes.
Okay. So when I tell you to begin, what I want you to do is I want you to take a series of 9 heel-to-toe steps down, making a series of small steps, pivoted on your lead foot. After the series of small steps, you're going to take a series of 9 heel-to-toe steps back down that imaginary line. And then during the test, I want you
You're
to
gonna come
keep your
flying
hands
up
at
and
your
then
side.
slow down.
Looking at cigarettes?
No, I quit in February.
So you got also to the left in the back of your tongue, you got one smoking pumps. Once finished with smoking, due to the high heat, it creates what's called blood blisters on the back of your tongue. So here's the thing. Like I explained to you, I'm professionally trained in silent.
Yeah.
Professionally trained. No, you took a fucking 2-hour class.
I'm not asking you this question because I don't already know the answer to it. I'm asking this question for honesty and cooperation. So you've never used meth?
No.
Never?
Some people consider Adderall to be meth, but not everyone.
It's a form of meth, but I've never smoked meth.
No, it's not a form of meth. It's form of amphetamine. It is not meth.
Cocaine? And no marijuana?
No.
Ever?
I mean, I think I tried it a long time ago, but not anything else. It gave me more anxiety.
She just needs to stop. People just need to learn to stop answering these questions. They don't, you don't have to answer them.
She's never been pulled over before. She's never been in.
Well, now she knows, though. I guarantee you now she knows. She'll never speak. Oh, no, I choose not to answer any questions.
So, last final chance, be honest with me. You never used meth.
Yeah, last final chance to incriminate yourself is what that is.
And all these other indicators like meth.
Okay, no.
Never?
No. I used to.
Do you know any people that do?
A couple of guys that I dated there.
Alright, now I'm gonna place you on the rest for you to go, okay?
Okay, but like not for alcohol.
Not for alcohol.
Okay, and then can they do an actual test for it so then it can show up?
I'm gonna apply for one warrant.
Okay, delay too long.
He's going to apply for a warrant. You don't need a warrant if she's consenting.
I'll let you do that.
But he wants it delayed. He wants it to be
So
low.
you gotta wait until
What's that?
we're going to jail.
We haven't got that far yet.
So he did arrest her, put her in handcuffs, arrest her for absolutely no reason. She's completely innocent. As I already told you, she had to fight to get her license back. It was a huge reinstatement fee, like $600 or something like that. And just total BS. As far as the criminal charges, I have the memorandum declining charges from the Morrison County Attorney's Office, from the prosecutor. And this is what they're saying to the cop, to Deputy Cody Holtz, as well as Chief Deputy Jason Worley of the Morrison County Sheriff's Office, who are wanting this dangerous criminal prosecutor. But the prosecutor, fortunately, tells them, thank you for submitting your investigative file involving the above-named individual to our office for a formal review as to criminal charges from an offense of August 22nd, 2023. I have read the reports and conferred with other attorneys in the office. After several field sobriety tests, a search warrant for blood or urine was requested, issued, and executed. We were awaiting the blood test results, which have now been received. After review of the case, we are declining any DWI charges. The toxicology report revealed the defendant has produced a printout of a digital prescription for Adderall. See attached prescription and email. There is no evidence that the defendant was using her prescription illegally, but instead was using it in accordance with Minnesota law. In our assessment, there is also a lack of substantial driving conduct that would provide evidence that her ability or capacity to drive a car was impaired. Just like I told you, there was no evidence that she was intoxicated, no evidence that her driving was bad in any way. He continued, we do not believe there is proof beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was driving under the influence of a controlled substance. Nonetheless, I do appreciate the investigation into this incident that allowed us to make a proper charging decision. So that sort of sounds like a CYA letter, doesn't it? It almost sounds like they're chastising this law enforcement agency, saying, don't send us this sort of garbage again. It's too bad that this woman had to go through this. And this is the sort of thing that can happen to any of us, to any of you, to your mother, to your daughter, to your grandmother, to your father, your grandfather. This is the sort of BS that touches regular law-abiding folks. And we can see just how it happened in other videos I've done, but especially this one, because this guy sat through some sort of class, and now he thinks he's like
I was talking about Nick said get the fuck out because she's been blowing him up. Like I don't.
He knows stuff.
And then Ryan said, "Wow." Is because I called her one time when she was at EFE to do her pre-screen to transfer her over. So I don't know if she's just randomly picking numbers right now or what she's doing.
Jurisdiction, Morrison County, Minnesota.
It's sad.
I heard her voice. I heard her. She sounded weird as hell.
See that there is some accountability here, and you can help achieve that by spreading this footage. This footage was submitted to me because Don wants to make sure that this does not happen,
she's more with it than our
happen to anyone else. And as somebody also who has been diagnosed with ADHD and has taken different sorts of medications, including Adderall myself, which I don't anymore, that it's scary for a lot of us. And we know 100% that not only are we not impaired, like we could drive all effing night and not even cross the yellow line or the white line at all, because like we are super focused. And then that's what just makes this thing so absurd. So if there's any update as far as accountability goes or lawsuit, whatever, please somebody let me know. And as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Check out my Twitter, Facebook, everything's below. If you have a video to submit, or you want me to review, the link to do that is below. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it.
What's your first name?
I'll wait for your supervisor.
Okay, that's not how we're doing. You can identify yourself or you can go in handcuffs. Okay, you can argue with the supervisor once he gets here, but you're going in handcuffs until then. Give me your hands.
After arresting a cyclist for supposedly riding on the wrong side of the sidewalk at 10:30 at night, a Cottonwood, Arizona cop claims the female cyclist is in cuffs because she refused to identify herself and then resisted when he seemingly unlawfully tried to put her in cuffs.
No, you're in cuffs because you refused to identify yourself and then resisted me when I put you in cuffs. I have rights.
The cop claims that he was just going to educate her on the bicycle laws so that they don't have any other accidents.
I was just going to educate you on the bicycle laws so that we don't have any other accidents.
Another cop says that when you fail to identify yourself, it's an arrestable offense.
Yes, when you do fail to identify yourself, it's an arrestable offense.
After unnecessarily fighting with the woman, the arresting officer asks his victim if she thought he wanted to fight with her for riding in the wrong direction.
You think I wanted to fight with a woman because she's riding her bicycle in the wrong direction?
It appears that excessive force is used, and a sergeant arrives later on the scene to make sure the use of force report is complete in case the victim of their force complains.
Well, I get use of force report done fairly quick, so.
Should be along the sidewalk. It is therefore not illegal, but may be regulated by local authorities. So if there's no law broken or crime committed, a cop cannot arbitrarily walk up to somebody and demand ID. This would be a violation of the Fourth Amendment, and withholding your ID when no crime has been committed is an unalienable right. A right that cops are supposed to be protecting. The enforcement guide also states, quote, laws applicable to drivers of vehicles thus cannot be applied to sidewalk cyclists. The Arizona Supreme Court has found that laws applying to sidewalk cyclists are similar to those for pedestrians, and specifically rejected the claim that a cyclist riding in crosswalk is subject to the duties of a driver of a vehicle. So it's presumed that this would also include relinquishing ID. It further states, laws that apply specifically to cyclists, however, do apply on sidewalks unless the particular law states where the law applies. So for example, the nighttime lighting requirement applies to cyclists on the sidewalk, but the requirement to ride as far right as practicable on the roadway does not. Most cities further regulate the operation of bicycles on sidewalks within their jurisdiction. Common regulations are a requirement that sidewalk cyclists, where permitted, must yield to any pedestrian. Many cities allow sidewalk cycling unless the direction is specified. Sidewalk cyclists must proceed in the direction of adjacent traffic.
Okay. Okay, that's not how we're doing it. You can identify yourself, you can go in handcuffs. Okay, you can argue with the supervisor once he gets here, but you're going in handcuffs until then. Keep your hands. Do not. Don't you do it. This is no stop. Don't you do this. You don't have any reason to. You are refusing to. Let go. Let go. Stop resisting. Stop and put your hands behind your back. That's exactly what you were doing. That's because you wouldn't do what I told you to. Law 56. Log 1, 1015.
What's your problem?
Why did you have to go that way? I'm gonna roll you over.
Okay.
Towards me. Bring your knees to your chest. I'm not here to hurt you. Bring your knees to your chest so I can sit you up.
After I've already slammed you on the ground, I'm not here to hurt you.
For riding on the wrong side of the sidewalk?
No, I don't. How many?
0. You know why?
Okay, well.
Because most people don't understand that it is actually illegal. That's why I'm out here to enforce that so that people don't get hurt.
Putting me in cuffs and
No, you're in cuffs because you refused to identify yourself and then resisted me when I put you.
I have rights. I'm American. I have rights.
So,
I can talk to a lawyer.
Okay.
That's what.
What's your first name?
I've been advised not to answer any questions.
Okay, then you're gonna go to jail and get fingerprinted.
Okay,
we can make this a whole process.
I guess if that's what you want to do.
That's not what I want to do.
That's not what we want to do. That's what you want. That's what you force your hand to do.
No,
I didn't even want to do at this point. I was just gonna educate you on the bicycle laws so that we can have an interaction.
If this is the case, then why didn't he just educate her and be on his way? It seems like the guy just wanted to take advantage of his power and overpower somebody weaker than himself.
Because you resisted me.
Because I didn't feel like you don't have any reason to arrest me as an arrestable offense.
You didn't even want to listen to me when I explained why.
Yes, when you do fail to identify yourself as an arrestable offense. Do you have an ID in your backpack?
Since when?
Since
always.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You
Yes, it is. You don't know your rights.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Spell your first name for
I'm
me.
serious. When you're stopped for a lawful reason, you have to identify yourself.
Okay, I got stopped for a lawful
Yes,
reason.
you were. You already explained why.
No, I'm not.
And you already admitted it was an unlawful thing you were doing.
What is your first name, ma'am?
I can't believe that you guys are doing this. This is retarded.
What is your first name, or you're going to jail for fail to identify?
What does it matter?
Because we don't want to take you to jail and impound your bike.
No, this is not my intention. I just came up here to get fucking air in the tire and fix this, my rattling bike thing.
You think I wanted to fight with a woman because she's riding a bicycle in the wrong direction?
Sir.
Okay. Do you want to identify yourself or not? Sorry, I'm going to cut her backpack off.
Yep.
I'm not saying you're going to handcuffs.
Stop.
Nope.
Okay,
If you resist, it's going to be worse for you.
I'm not resisting. I don't want you to
exactly what
slam me
you're
down
doing.
again. I want you to slam me down again.
They cut her backpack
You
off
explained
because there were 3 men standing there afraid to remove her handcuff to take her backpack off.
Don't fight the cops then.
I wasn't fighting the cops.
Really? He had to put you in jail for a reason.
Look at his line again. Look at it. You're hurting my arm. You're hurting my arm.
Face the car, I'm going to put you against it.
Okay. That's on my neck. Just go.
I'm not trying to hurt you,
Okay,
man.
well, I feel
You
hard
seem to
because
fail to understand that this is only because of your actions.
Okay, but you're hurting my arm, sir.
What's the zipper on the back? Is that just to keep your bra together, or is that a pocket? Okay. There's no pocket in this?
No.
Okay, because when you go to jail, they're going to search you. If there's anything in... Do you mind if I ask why? I'm just asking you to identify yourself.
Watch 2 YouTube videos on narcotics.
Yep. And it was the whole, do you have reasonable articulable suspicion to, that I committed a crime? It's like, yes, that's why I'm here.
Right.
So you go.
Luggage, she's forced to put it down fairly quick, so she complains, it's there.
I swear, body camera was going the whole time.
Yeah. I'm not concerned about it. She's got one picture there, so.
That's why I even threw my red and blues on real quick, because she was coming up the sidewalk here, so I was like, oh, I'll just contact her right here. And then she cut across the street over to the gas station. So I walked over there and I said, hey, stay over there, I'm going to talk to you real quick. I guess. I didn't really want to.
Oh yeah, you are. Piece of shit
It
thing.
seems like she was willing to wait for a supervisor and even sat down to wait, but then he went on the attack. I'll leave the link to her original video in the description and in the pinned comment so you can give her your support. I'll also leave the link to the Cottonwood, Arizona Police Department Facebook page so you can let them know what you think of their actions. Leave your thoughts about this for the World and Global Thought Police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already,
2 more hours.
subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with every email. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, IMPactFlix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt, become a channel member, but more importantly, know what your rights are and flex your rights. If you don't use your rights, you'll lose them. I'll see you in the next video.
Hi.
Hello. What's going on?
What can we do for you, sir? What? I didn't even... You heard the signal?
Yeah, the turn signal.
Would you rather we left you with your brothers? Now you lay back down. too? Collie? Oh. There you go, collie at the side of the truck. They like their collies. Probably good breeders. Not a particular fan of collies. Oh, that's cool. Still okay. Say, oh Lord.
I said, oh Lord.
What?
This girl wants to come back.
Well, you got room now.
Pain in our asses. Admin discharged.
Maybe not.
Another EFE. All they do is drop their trash on us.
Yawn time, pop ears. Ears don't.
Not yet, but they probably will now that you said something.
There's a Breaking Bad Better Call Saul museum in Albuquerque. That's where it took place.
Yeah.
They said if you find a Heisenberg pop, I said, get it. I'll buy it. That my Gina Carano's.
I've got the mayor stopped. I asked for his insurance. He has handed me 3 separate things. He's handed me a maintenance card. He's handed me registration. He's picked up another thing. And he said he has had drinks tonight.
What's up, everybody? Great Licks here, and let me introduce you to the gentleman on the right, Mr. Thomas Mackin, also known as the mayor of Perrysburg, Ohio. Mr. Mackin was driving his vehicle, swerving all over the road, stopped beyond the proper markings at an intersection, made abrupt lane changes, and was subsequently pulled over and arrested for OVI. Here is the dash cam from the officer that was following him, as well as the body camera
I didn't hear
footage.
anything about that, did you?
Once that's over, we're going to have a quick little discussion about what his blood alcohol content was and things of that nature. So,
Perrysburg mayor,
I have
got a
a few
deal
concerns
by the Perrysburg police.
Video and report, and we'll get to those at the end. Just Here we go.
Looks like the looks like right up Fort Meads area. The back way home from Costco.
Insurance. He has handed me 3 separate things. He's handed me a maintenance card. He's handed me, and he said he has had drinks tonight.
Okay, I'm almost there. Gotta do your job, man.
Gotta do your job, man. We got time to get around him. This red car hurries the fuck up.
That's it. Any car.
You said you had a beer tonight? Okay. What kind of beer was it? Was it an IPA or anything like that? A Miller Lite. Okay. Just one.
I was looking for. I'm not gonna say what I was looking at. I should have been doing that, but.
Yeah, my only concern is, I asked for your insurance. You handed me a bunch of different cards and everything like that.
I totally get. Hold on a second. I wonder. And you gotta do what you gotta do, so I'm all good with that. My car is leased through LMH, my company, and so it's a company car.
Okay.
So we're the insurance. We have insurance.
Right. Who do you know who it's through?
It's through LMH. It's through the company.
Okay.
It's through Lucas. It's through my employer.
Okay.
So.
Really quick, I'm just going to ask you somehow. I just want to make sure you're okay to drive, okay? Just because of everything that's going on.
What you got to do.
Okay. We'll get you back on the road as long as everything's okay. I'm just going to have you step back here. You're taller than me. I'm just going to have you kind of sit on your bumper a little bit.
Sit there.
Unless...
that's fine.
Oh, here. Why don't you come over here? You can sit on my bumper.
Easy over there.
Yeah. Do you wear glasses or contacts, sir?
I wear contacts.
Contacts. Okay. You got them in, right?
Which is quite descriptive, but you just do not have to do field sobriety tests. They are not definitive. It's all about perception by the officer. Let's go.
Subjective.
Just follow
the word you're looking for.
With your eyes and your eyes only without moving your head, okay?
Sure.
Just put your feet together for me. Thank you. No,
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
I'm sorry.
Just with your eyes and your eyes only.
Eyes look good.
Just gonna do that same thing, okay?
Just about every time that pen passes in front of his face, that shadow goes across the bridge of his nose, just below his eyes. There's a blink or a delay. And then he's got that shadow going right across his left eye. That is absolutely distracting as hell. Now the shadows in his face gets even worse. And then watch how he ends the horizontal before he goes to the vertical.
It's gonna go straight up, right? I'm just gonna have you do a few more tests, okay? Sure.
So now they're looking for a nice, smooth, flat, clean, clear surface to do these walking and turning and the balance and all that, which they're going to find a really good spot. This is the one thing that they did right, was finding this location. This right here, though, this is a perfect example of why you do not do field sobriety tests. That man's face was in and out of the shadows and the bright lights the entire time. No one's going to get a steady reading on it. It's completely up to the officer's discretion and how they read things. And that, to me, is a bad test, and it's a bad and just disgusting way to do things.
He said he was doing something in his car. He probably shouldn't be admitting that. He was probably playing with his phone or something like that.
Put this up right here. We'll just use this line here, okay? Alright. Okay, so what I want you to do for this test, I want you to place your left foot on this white line here.
They just trudge through the
right foot in front of it in a heel to toe fashion. Okay? Just like that. Keep your hands Yep. Alright. Keep your hands on your side, and I want you to just stay like that until I tell you to start the test, okay? Don't move until I tell you to start. Okay. Walking, anything like that? Okay. So what I want you to do, so when I tell you to begin, I want you to walk 9 heel-to-toe steps forward. When you get to your 9th step, you're going to take a series of small steps to turn around. Can you get in the start with your eyes down at your feet, arms out at your side, and counting each step out loud, okay? Okay. I'll demonstrate what that's going to look like. You're here. You're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps forward, 2, 3, all the way to 9. I'm doing 3 for demonstrational purposes. You are going to do 9. Do you understand the instructions?
I do understand the instructions.
Okay, you can start whenever you would like.
No, it's barrels. It could be barrels.
Talking out loud, right?
Yep, counting yourself out loud.
3, 4.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
6, 7, 8, 9. Small steps into it.
Sure. County Mountie.
6, 7.
You're no pirate.
Okay, you're good? Alright, turn around.
You did a good job.
Okay. Feet together, arms on your side, just stay like that until I tell you to start, okay? For this next test, I'm going to have you raise 1 foot in front of you, doesn't matter which foot, left or right. You're going to raise it approximately 6 inches off the ground, keeping that foot parallel to the ground and both legs straight. And you're going to count 1001, 1002, 1003 until I tell you to stop, okay?
6 inches.
Approximately 6 inches on the ground. Again, I'll demonstrate it once I'm done giving you instructions. When you're doing so, make sure you keep your eyes down at your toe that's pointed. You're going to count as I told you to, and you're going to keep your arms down at your side, okay? I don't want them raising up, okay? Alright, so I'll demonstrate it for you. So you're like this. Right? You're going to raise 1 foot, approximately 6 inches off the ground, keeping both legs straight, and then toe pointed, so your foot's parallel to the ground, okay? You're going to count 1,001,
74.
1,002, 1,003.
Oh, I-80, yeah.
I'll tell you to stop.
Yeah, you know right where I'm
Make sure
at.
your eyes are down at your toe, okay? Arms down at your side. Okay,
Yeah, this
let me
is,
get my
we're at,
softbox ready here.
the Turnpike.
And then as soon as I say so, you can begin.
You didn't do a PBT? Oh, wow.
This is the very last frame of this video. There is no more video after this. This is where the department redacted the footage from here on out. Because if you look, you can see the officer's hands on the handcuffs from the wrist. He didn't have time to turn off his body camera and still be able to get to the point. So I'm still working on that. But check out this little tidbit on Mr. Mackin and his career. Not only is Mr. Mackin the mayor of Pittsburgh, Ohio, but he's also a licensed practicing attorney. In fact, he's the chief administrative and legal officer to the Lucas Metropolitan Housing Authority, LMHA, which just makes the fact that he took the sobriety test that much more painful to watch, because he's a licensed practicing attorney that used to do criminal defense law as well as business and employment law and things like that. 11.19.1A, which states, no person shall operate any vehicle, streetcar, or tractor trolley within this state if
it was like hurting, and I thought maybe I was like sleeping on it or
any of the following
something.
apply.
But like now it's all bumpy.
The person is under the influence of alcohol,
I don't know.
drug of abuse, or a combination of them, which is what he was cited for. B would also apply here because they made a point to the BAC. The person has a concentration of 0.08 of 1% or more, but less than 0.17 of 1%, 0.17, by a weight per unit volume of alcohol in a person's whole blood. So 0.08 and below 0.08, so 0.079999 is legal. 0.08 is illegal to drive under the influence. But subsection A stated, while under the influence of alcohol or drug of abuse. So I think that's the angle they're going to try to push here, and I'll explain why. So this is the last paragraph in the police report. Let's just start here.
Yeah, .035.
I read Mr. Mackin the BMV 2255. Mr. Mackin consented to a breath test to which he provided a breath sample of .035. Now we just discussed in 4511.19A1B that a .08 or higher is driving under the influence. And they set him for A1A, which is while under the influence of alcohol or drug of abuse or a combination thereof would be operating a vehicle while impaired. Operating a vehicle intoxicated. Now, if we keep on reading a little bit, it says, I asked Mr. Mackin if he takes any medications to which he said
12th fucking cop we've passed since we got on the freeway.
That means that the medications he's on could have an effect on alcohol, and they're going to try and push that issue. They don't say what medications he's on. Doesn't say if he was asked. So they're going to try to push the whole his meds plus the drinking equals operating a vehicle while impaired, under influence. I don't know what meds he's on. They don't discuss his medications here. I'm trying to talk to Mr. Mackin if possible, but I don't see this stop sticking. So let's just wrap this up real quick. So to wrap it all up, I guess you would say the advising attorney for the Lucas Metropolitan Housing Authority, also the mayor for Pittsburgh, Ohio, was arrested for OVI, allegedly having just one beer at Sidelines.
Sidelines? Where?
Failed the sobriety tests.
Is there one in Pittsburgh?
Blew a .035 and was still arrested for OVI. could be a fun one to watch. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I think this is going to be dismissed. The prosecutor's going to look at it and see what I'm seeing. Like the eye gaze and stagnance test alone was extremely flawed because of the lighting in his face, the shadows and the bright lights going back and forth. That's going to cause eyes to focus and have troubles. And then the blood concentration, I don't see it. So what you guys think? Take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you.
But he still shouldn't have done the field sobriety test. Yeah. Good job, Great Lakes. I wonder how long it took him to get that. I don't remember hearing it reported. He must listen to this. Well, he does. He's got them radios. He doesn't actually listen to Skinner. He listens to their actual radios. Remember how he let us run around with that radio that night? That's who did that.
Well, this ain't good.
Let's see what these comments say. Definitely shouldn't have done the field sobriety test and should have requested a blood test. Yeah. I mean, if you so.
I remember the first time that I got pulled over, I did tried to do one test, and I was like, fuck this, I'm done. Nope. Stupid.
Brunch house syndrome. Sure is.
So, salad and quesadillas. Yep. Salad and quesadillas. Oh, yeah. Smells good. Got some French toast. Looks like me. Yeah. That is pretty cool. Smells good. Smells like breakfast.
She said she's got something on the desk for me.
Breakfast
So
for
I'm
lunch.
assuming it's keys. So she doesn't have to leave it unlocked anymore. Wish she would just tell me what it is.
Bring
It's a
a
fucking
little
camera or
essence
something that she
wherever
wants
you
installed.
go.
I ain't doing it.
Essence on Main.
Oh, Essence, that's
Oh, there they are.
Dispo, isn't it?
Right over on the left. Excuse me. It's the Village Bake Shop. The Village Bake Shop. Yep. They got baked goods. And they're hiring. Bakery.
This thing has been up since I've been driving to Pittsburgh, and it looks like it's been done forever, but they don't use it.
Come on, we don't like music. Right? I mean, we like music. Come together right now. Yes, over me. I guess YouTube is in the background. Yeah, background music.
I always flip off the overhead cameras.
Yep. They did stop doing that. That's good. Yeah. We got no control over that stuff. No. We shouldn't be penalized for it. That's right.
Nope. The Kia.
Shopping away.
Somebody marked it as a cop.
The wood shop. Huh? What is it? Dueling laptops. Oh, dueling laptops. Oh, they're battling. It's like Battleship. It's like Battleship. Only electronic. Right? Somebody's cooking down this way. Yep. Yep. That is definitely steak. Main Street Dentistry.
You know what's this?
There she is right there on the phone. Yeah, there she is right there on the phone.
Everything's falling apart on this side.
Yeah.
It's a stroke.
It's an igloo or two. The other guy. Oh, yeah. It's igloos. Plexiglass igloos. He's got has a cover like a book.
I have a bad
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Where the heck did you get that cover for that laptop?
With all these cars? Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Worst.
Where did you get that cover for that laptop? That is cool. 12 South. That is cool, man. Looks like a book. What is it? Book? Huh. Oh, cool. How much was it? Oh, wow. Right. Cool, man.
Hey, Derek. Heading to Pittsburgh. Almost through Youngstown. Well, actually, just about passing Lordstown, so.
Ida.
Yeah. Should be like, hey, honey, where you at? hour, 15 minutes left. We don't get diverted. Little Lordstown plant. We used to make these little baby Chevys, whatever they were, those little tiny things. Death traps. I think it's a battery factory now. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean,
St. Patty's Day is next weekend, y'all.
Why? Did you fart? Did you fart? Oh yeah? Is that right?
Medical practice, can't videotape you.
Oh yeah? You'll call a cop? Oh yeah? Will?
You can videotape all you want out here. You can't videotape on our windows.
Really? What law is that?
What's that?
What law is that?
This is a medical facility. It's,
Oh.
it's a violation of patient's privacy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you HIPAA trained? No, it's actually HIPAA, and it means that you are responsible for your patient's digital medical records. That's the only thing it protects. You're incorrect. You're incorrect. Thank you. Oh, nice. They're all mad. Another one that doesn't know how to spell HIPAA. HIPAA, he said.
Oh, wait. Shit. Huh. We're getting the wrong way.
Closing the blinds. Yeah. At least they work.
I wonder why they blurred
They would
out.
have never known those worked if it weren't for us.
They must have actually found.
Yeah. There's somebody right there. Right there. Oh yeah? Oh, sweet. Repeat. Oh yeah? Huh. Wow. That's crazy. I know, right? That's crazy. Who are you?
I wonder why he's doing this. Is he just playing with
Who are you?
He's already shown the sign.
Who are you?
The guy's covering it up.
Huh. Weird. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, she's gonna leave again. Yep. Oh, of course. None of your business? None of your business? None of your business? Sorry, you're not my type. Damn, $3,000 for that couch? Holy crap. That's insane, y'all. We're in Clarkston. $3,000 for a couch.
That is nothing special.
$700 for that table.
It's a single mattress or a single cushion.
Yeah, single cushion couch. $700 for that table.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is insane.
That is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I see that. That's an expensive couch. I wouldn't care how much money I had.
freeway down close to the other freeway down there.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
The one that cuts through Kent and everything. Akron. It's big. It's like a reservoir.
Where are you guys from?
Originally from my dad's nuts, and then my mom's vagina.
That's unacceptable.
That's where I came. That's where I'm from. You asked. You asked. That's where I'm from. You need a lot of things. You guys, blah blah blah. I don't care. You're incorrect. How do you spell HIPAA? How do you spell HIPAA? Because if you can't spell it, you don't know what it means. Right? You understand HIPAA protects patients? Digital medical records. Digital medical records. That's all HIPAA covers.
All medical
That's
records.
it.
He's wrong there.
Well, then close your damn blinds and leave me alone, lady.
So there were two girls that went down the street also. These guys went by our office here at the dental office, and they're videoing in our office. We have patients.
No, we were outside. We were outside on the sidewalk recording what we could see.
What you could see.
Yep. Yep.
So I asked them where they were from, and he said from his dad's nuts and his mother's vagina.
That's where I came from. You asked.
Unfortunately, they can record it. It's fine, but not inside the office.
Absolutely. If I'm outside, I can record whatever I can see. Pull your blinds down. Your windows don't open. Your windows don't open. We can't get in your window.
From outside.
Yeah, just make sure you pull your blinds down if you want privacy for yourself and your patients. That's how privacy works.
And you need to get retrained on HIPAA.
You need to mind your business, old boy.
We are minding your business. You mind yours in your office, not outside in public, lady.
Yeah, we're good, man. Appreciate it. Sorry you had to come out for that. All right, brother.
Cops hate having to tell people that thing.
It's the butt cream. I'm gonna walk back down here. Yeah, they're gonna have to apply some butt cream here in a minute. They do. Did he close his laptop? Nope. Dog back there. He ain't barking though. That's a good trained dog. That is a very good trained dog.
Sheriff. Oakland County. Did say Parks.
That's a good trained dog. He didn't even bark when I walked up to your window. He's a good dog. That's awesome. Cool, man. What's your name and badge number? Wilson. Appreciate you, brother. How about you, buddy? Badge number? Name? What's your name? Okay. I'm not even going to try to repeat that because I'll probably murder it. Have a good one, guys. He does, doesn't he? Got one of the new Tahoes. Oh, yeah. Might be. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the new pit bar, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a new pit bar.
Nice. I'm waiting for him to start getting all the grapplers. Why, did you fart?
You got that in stereo.
Did.
Have a good one. Did you fart in stereo?
Our timing is awesome. Farting in stereo. Well, they didn't take long to trigger at all, did they? That's spooky when I found out that don't know what HIPAA is and what it protects. Yeah.
When we get there, I'll just go in the front and then let you in. You and Ivar.
Right.
We can't say shit about Ivar because some of the patients there have dogs.
Oh, all right. Let's get out of here.
Sit in the hallway all the time.
On to the next
There's
one.
a Chihuahua that
We'll see
screams
you
at me every time I walk by the room.
And Clarkston has been fun.
For the Constitution and settle case law protect all verbal insults of police. Numb nuts, bitch ass tyrant, even Willy Wonka munchkin motherfucker. They are all allowed.
Willy Wonka munchkin motherfucker. I wonder why he blurbs so much of that video. I wonder if he got a warning from somebody. Yeah, HIPAA. They were trying to tell him.
Or no, I'm sorry.
You thought it was PPA?
Yeah, now I don't know. Now I've got myself confused.
I'm sure he wouldn't argue unless he's actually with it. But he's wrong about just the digital part, though.
Yeah.
They don't have any medical records. Good. Yeah. Been dealing with a muffy head.
All medical records and other individually identifiable health information in any form, whether electronically, on paper, or orally, are covered by the final rule.
I remember when that first came out. It came out when I was in the Army. We all had to get trained on it at the hospital. See that water there? That's all part of that same reservoir. It used to be a river, so dammed it up, made it a big lake. Those hippos don't know hippo. That's what he commented. Whoa! Whoa! A little hydro-ish. Not really as bad as the old tires. Those are straight up scary to drive on sometimes.
A series of naval battles happened here in the late summer of 1814. And those battles tipped the balance of naval power in the War of 1812 from the British to the Americans and from the Americans back to the British. And it was done by a lowly British lieutenant. And he didn't have a single ship under his command when he turned the tables back to the British. This is the story of Lieutenant Worsley, the Tigress, and the Scorpion. I'm Chuck.
I'm Poppin'.
It's freaking windy out and pretty cold.
I thought it was Commander
and
Perry.
We're beside the beach in Ontario. The channel's Restless Viking. Let's investigate this story.
Got better? Yeah.
It's September of 18.
So we are about an hour away from non-site. I'm hoping it's going to take less than an hour if you have time.
27-year-old Commander Oliver Hazard Perry and his group of young and inexperienced sailors. They handed the British Royal Navy their first unqualified defeat in their long history during the Battle of Lake Erie.
The Battle of Lake Erie had ended, and the United States wanted to take control of the Northwest Territory. They had control of all the ships except one, the HMS Nancy.
By July of 1814, 5 U.S. warships, including the Niagara, the Tigress, and the Scorpion, enter Lake Huron. And it's the first time that U.S. flag ships have entered.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, for sure, bringing it in. What the fuck? Oh, turnpike. Okay, I was going to say, what the hell?
And they look for the last
Just gets to go around everybody?
on the upper Great Lakes, the HMS Nancy.
I guess he does. He works there.
So you see what's at stake here. Fort Mackinac.
It's okay. No, she's here with us.
And the U.S.
It's okay.
decided to go hunt for it. And that U.S. squadron learned that the Nancy was resupplying Fort Mackinac from the mouth of this river, the Nottawasaga. So here's the story for the Canadians and the British. They have one fort in the upper Great Lakes that's being resupplied from somewhere down here, and there's no other resupply that can get to this port because there's only one ship, and it's coming down here to get the supplies. But then out on the lakes,
we'll turn the camera around. You can tell her yourself.
They're darting back and forth, but they're afraid to bring any supplies to Fort Mackinac because there's warships on the Great Lakes. And winter is just a couple months away, which is going to mean starvation for those at Fort Mackinac. So the Americans thought that the Nancy was still on Lake Huron en route back to pick up supplies.
Say hi to Dirty.
When they got to the mouth of the Nottawasaga, they found nothing was there. So they dropped anchor out there in the bay to wait for her.
All right.
So Lieutenant Worsley, his 21 sailors, 1 midshipman and 9 Canadian voyagers, and a few indigenous, got word that the Americans were coming down. So they towed the HMS Nancy from the mouth of the Nottawasaga a mile to here, to what's called Nancy's Island. And not only that, he actually took supplies off the Nancy and took them further upriver by canoe and dropped them and hid them in case the Americans got the ship.
Lieutenant Worsley had his ship right here in the Nottawasaga River, while the Americans were right over there, just over the sand dune.
So the next day, the Americans are anchored
Come here, baby.
right out there.
Come here.
And they send some troops ashore to set up an encampment and to forage for some food. And to their surprise, when they land here, right over that white building is where Worsley was on an island. The river's right there. Imagine their surprise when they came to set up an encampment and they saw the ship that they were hunting in the river, just sitting there with a blockhouse. So the Americans, about 200 yards that way on Lake Huron, started firing over the dune at the blockhouse. So even though there was a ship here, there was also a blockhouse with cannons. And they were firing to destroy that cannon. They even went so far as to unload a howitzer into the sand, drag it up out of the dune, and start firing where the blockhouse was. But they weren't shooting at the ship. Worsley knew what they intended to do. They intended to take another ship. So he decided to scuttle it. He lays a trail of powder from the munitions room onto land, and he lights it, kind of like you see in the cartoon with a barrel of gunpowder, and it burns to the ship, and the ship explodes. The blockhouse gets destroyed. Worsley
it's been pretty bad.
Into the forest. But here's where it gets good.
some good downpours. Looks like we're coming out of it, so it looks like it's probably heading this way. It is pretty shitty.
In case anything happened. And they actually loaded those supplies on 2 bateaus and 2 freighter canoes. They cleared the river, they headed on, and when they got out the mouth of the river, they found the Tigress and the Scorpion were gone. Apparently the Tigress and the Scorpion were headed out to go capture some freighter canoes because in war you can capture those and they're your prize. So at this point, I imagine Fort Worsley's got some mixed feelings. He just lost his ship, lost the blockhouse, and the people counting on him at a remote fort were going to get their supplies. So he heads across 360 miles of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron, paddling and rowing to Fort Mackinac. Now, I've spent a lot of time in the Great Lakes in a small boat, and I can tell you that a 360-mile journey over 6 days is not for the faint of heart, especially late in the season. But not only did they have to face the weather of the Great Lakes, but because they were being hunted by gunboats. 6 days after they leave the Nottawasaga River, they arrive at Detour Passage, where they spy the Tigress and the Scorpion. So Worsley and his armada of small boats turns tail.
Hope so. Yeah, we're going to take it easy.
Shore and hides. They conceal the boats and they take one of the canoes miles to Fort Mackinac. In one evening, apparently, they passed within a few feet of one of the gunboats. And
Normally he would be too, but he's been napping, so.
He reached Fort Mackinac.
But he is spoiled, you're right.
Accomplishes, despite the great odds, the mission of bringing some resupply to Fort Mackinac. But our old boy Worsley wasn't done yet. You see, there was still this business of turning the tide of the war in the Upper Great Lakes.
So it's been since the middle of January that he got those stitches in his nose. They're supposed to dissolve. I pulled a big old one.
Probably disconnected inside.
For his part, gave him 4 boats and 60 Royal Newfoundland pencils.
Good.
Now,
Probably was keeping
I know what you're thinking. This
snore so
guy's
much.
kind of crazy, but so are 60 Royal Newfoundland pencils. So late the next day, they set off for Detour Passage. 3 boats containing Royal Newfies with their lieutenant in command, Lieutenant Bolger, in Worsley in another boat. Lieutenant Bolger had a 3-pound railing gun, and Worsley had a 6-pound cannon. And with incredible foresight, Lieutenant Worsley had secured those guns before the Nancy was attacked and brought them with him. And the day after they set off, they landed on Drummond Island. And the next morning, Worsley and Livingston went scouting. And they found the Tigress a few miles away near Burnt Island. They make the preparation, and when night falls, they push off to close the few miles to the Tigress. In the wee hours of September 4th, Worsley's 4 boats quietly approached the Tigress. There were 31 American sailors in the watch and didn't spot the approaching small boats until they were too close for the guns to be effective. So Worsley and his 2 boats came along the starboard side, and Lieutenant Folger with 2 boats came along the port side, and they all swarmed the deck of the Tigress. And it was a sharp struggle. 3 Americans were killed, 3 Brits were killed, 6 Americans were wounded, and 7 Brits were wounded, including Lieutenant Folger. It was called a cutting expedition, where a small boat overtakes a larger boat by sneaking up on it. And these guys just performed a textbook cutting expedition. So in the vast wilderness at the time of the Upper Great Lakes, Worsley had just accomplished a pretty stout task. But I know what you're thinking. There's another ship out there called a Scorpion, and Worsley wasn't done yet. So Lieutenant Livingston was sent out to scout for the Scorpion. And he came back 2 hours later and he said that the Scorpion was approaching them. So they hustled the American prisoners ashore and they kept the colors flying on the Tigress. And the next day, the Scorpion came within 2 miles of the Tigress and dropped anchor and just hung out for a long while. Apparently they hadn't heard the ruckus the night before. So the captured Tigress and the American Scorpion basically hung out for the rest of the day, a couple miles from each other. And Worsley, who still had the code book, he exchanged coded messages with the Scorpion. Just as dawn broke the next day, Worsley takes the Tigress toward the Scorpion, still flying the American colors, and with most of his men below deck with their greatcoats on. You can see it coming, can't you? And the Scorpion only had a couple crew members on deck, scrubbing the decks. And most
That explains a lot.
Below, probably still a little groggy from sleeping. And just as they came alongside, the men came up from below deck of their great and boarded. Fort Mackinac had enough supplies to last till the end of the war. Lieutenant Worsley died in 1835, and to honor his tenacity and his courage,
They named a street after him in Barrie, Ontario.
No shit.
And in 1927, the burned hull of the HMS Nancy was found here in the Nottawasaga River. And today, what remains of the hull. I'm Chuck.
I'm Poppin'.
The channel's Restless Viking. Thanks for taking a walk with us.
Wasn't an accident. He like shit falling out of his car. Sucks. I feel bad for him.
I know.
That'd be awesome. I don't know if we brought it with you or we drove into it. I don't remember it raining this hard yesterday.
December 29th, and 28 years ago on this day, I was hyperventilating before a wedding.
And I didn't hyperventilate until after the wedding.
We're heading to what is in the summer the #1 tourist destination in Michigan, Mackinac Island.
Let's take a look behind the curtain and see what Mackinac Island has in store during the off-season.
I'll say it. I don't even know if they did tourist stuff during the winter.
Happy anniversary, Poppins.
Happy anniversary, Chuck.
It originated in 1780 as a fur trading warehouse, and it was remodeled in 2008, but they used the original timbers, which is pretty darn cool. Making it.
There is no warning that that's coming either.
Tavern in Michigan is their claim. And they also have quite a collection of first responders.
Right here. I brought you a nice little pedal.
All right, thank you, sir. Since it's our anniversary,
we're splitting our dinner.
It's the morning after our anniversary. Special feelings, Scrabble playing, all kinds of cute little things that we did throughout the day. And now we're headed for to meet Chad, the pirate hunter who gives walking tours on Mackinac Island. So it should be kind of fun. And there you have it, the ambiance of Mackinac Island.
Horse shit. Some other carriages. There's no vehicles up there.
You are. You're on time.
Snowmobiles.
Okay, Mustang was that is actually a kit home from Sears and Roebuck. You used to be able to I'm Jacob Astor, who's America's first self-made millionaire.
Straight. And we stopped to take. I spent a couple hours with him on tour, and it's too bad we couldn't spend the day with him.
It really isn't. Seating really isn't. Everything's high top there.
Good morning.
It's early New Year's Eve morning, and stuff out in the island. Getting an early start on the Trans-Mackinac Island expedition.
Here we go.
It's very quiet this morning. The only vehicle out is the police truck. So we're going to head up to Harrisonville. Harrisonville, where half of the permanent residents from the island live. And we're going to get over to British Landing eventually and talk about those things. So, you excited about it?
Yep, a couple miles, we got this. You'll notice that winter is construction season here on the island. So yesterday, our tour guide Chad explained that the native people who lived along inland by the Grand Hotel. The Grand Hotel people didn't think it was a big structure.
Where wealthy people came to stay. And now Harrisonville is where most, well, half of the year-round residents stay, and also housing for the seasonal workers that come. And then throughout the island, hung in different trees for years at a time, I guess, are fly traps because, you know, horses, poop, and flies. So this is Harrisonville. Kind of modern housing structures, the kind of neighborhood you would expect anywhere. No Victorian era style.
According to Chad, there's 450 year-round residents and 49 students at the K through 12 school.
The Harrison.
In 1902 and 1913, the map showed that this had been a dump. In 1934, a grass runway was created over the dump. Then in 2011, there were sinkholes and even a bump in the middle of the runway. So they had to repave it, and they took that opportunity to do an archaeological dig. And they found all sorts of things from the Grand Hotel: porcelain, glass lamps, light bulbs. In 1911, there had been electricity brought to the Grand Hotel, and so there were all sorts of oil lamps found in this dump.
And a windy place to land, a lot of crosswind, but today, if you landed from that direction, you'd have lots of headwind. We were just on British Landing Road, and we'll go there in a little bit, British Landing. So we're going to go along the airport for a little while, and we're going to head into the woods.
Being traded this part. It's like near the middle of the island. Like a cave.
So we're heading to the Cave of the Woods and cracking the island.
Cave of the Woods.
And to get there, you follow the airport property here along a trail.
Or take the official trail.
Yeah, we took the official trail. We were on the airport terminal.
But it was so steep we had to walk the bikes.
Which is a crater fissure caused by the erosion of rock from the middle, both underneath and on the surface. And then eventually, as that rock erodes, softer rock, leaves the harder limestone on either side, creating a crack in the earth that you can kind of walk through if you're skinny. So we'll see what happens. If I get stuck, Poppins, send help. Poppins and I. So yeah, it's a little bit of a tight fit.
So legend has it that the Great Spirit stopped his foot when the Europeans came to this land, and that's how the crack happened.
About 10,000 years ago, over half of Mackinac Island was actually underwater. And the wave action from when it was underwater here at the high point of the island actually caused erosion of sea caves. And this is actually a sea cave at a high spot in the island. And Mackinac got its name from a turtle called Mackinac. And this turtle was hanging around, and the Great Spirit said, hey, if anyone could go down and get soil from the bottom of the sea and bring it up and put it on the turtle's back, I can form an island that all of the animals can rest on. So the otter went down, the beaver went down, the mink went down, and they couldn't get to the bottom and get the soil. But finally the muskrat got down there, and he grabbed some soil, he brought it up, and he put it on the shell of Mackinac. That formed Mackinac Island, and of course, hearing that as Europeans, they kind of made the name Mackinac, but the French put a C on it. And those that pronounce it Mackinac, everyone looks at them with an eye of suspicion, because no matter how it's spelled, it's Mackinac. Kind of a nice little hike, though. Gets you away from all the hubbub and horse poop.
Yeah, you're not from here.
Poppins is sporting the latest in West watch with a never-ending backpack, which you can find at restless-viking.com store. And if I remember, I'll throw a link below in the description. So British Landing Road is named after British Landing. And British Landing is named because that's where the British landed during the War of 1812 to take over Fort Mackinac. So they came from the other side of the island. And I don't know, there probably was a trail there at some time. They hiked their way to the highest point where Fort Holmes is today. And then they fired a couple shots on the fort, and the fort said, we give up. They didn't actually know that there was a war at the time. The British did, they didn't know because they hadn't gotten word yet. The fort hadn't gotten word yet. So we're heading to where the British landed. That was a Mackinac moment brought to you courtesy the Viking Hopkins. Now we're coming up on British Landing. And there's like a little restaurant, fast food place here. The Cannonball. They serve like kind of a fast food. And when you do your circumnavigation of the island by bike, you can stop here for a snack.